that would be a scent of somebody that I'm actually like with, I feel.
Right.
But like
Because
just straws, like fuckboy would be the second one.
fuckboy,
Would be the
second one.
Like,
This-
all right, just for the night, I guess.
Right. All right, this
You
is
smell good.
This was dark leather, so look, she literally has on dark leather.
Hey.
I'm what they fear, black man with intelligence. Ghetto fab splashed with a dash of elegance. Well spoken, but could tell him hood. Attitude funky, but that boy be smelling good. Not just a rapper, I'm a poet. They point out all my flaws, but fail to mention my heroics. Through the ages, different phases, went from playing with razors to Dolce Gabbana blazers. No more child's play, we grown. Less bottles of Patron, more bottles of cologne. It's like a cheat code to make a coochie melt. She paying more attention to your fragrance than your Gucci belt. So go to Bloomies, cop a bottle or two. Get some sense for your girl, cop some bottles for you. I'm giving out lessons. Come and take a part of this class. Before you spray that fragrance on, make sure you wash your ass. Look, that's just something that I got to say. Step your collection up, no more Axe body spray. So in a sense, so what a hater gonna tell me? I'm Kobe when it comes to the colognes. You smell me?
Ladies and gentlemen, yours truly, the Sultan of Sense. Even in his absence, I remain Kobe when it comes to the cologne collection. Rest in peace to Gigi. The freestyles is flagrant. Today, we talking fragrance, and I have the lovely Artina Darkley here. This is my first time meeting you in person. You are just as gorgeous as advertised.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. Where you from?
I grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I am New York native, but I'm currently residing in Jersey.
Okay. So, are you like goth? Like, what's your thing? Because I seen you like in a rap video, then I seen you Millie rocking.
No labels. I always say like I'm just, I'm a woman of many layers.
Okay.
I feel like I've just everything that is around me that influences me, I always like take a piece with me.
Okay.
So I have, I'm very versatile.
All right. Because whether you know it or not, the brothers, we love us. A tatted.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you know that, like for real, like whether like that's
no,
like
it's not a secret.
Well, I don't think because it's very rare that you see us with that. But like my last girlfriend, whole leg tatted.
Yeah.
We were in LA one time, and this guy said, like, are y'all together? Because y'all don't look likely. So
that's the best though.
Yeah, like that. Opposites attract.
Yes.
So you're a burlesque dancer?
That is my that is what I do. Yeah.
That's what you do. How long you been doing that?
Not long at all, actually. I've just been very lucky. I've only been doing it for performing officially for 7 months.
Okay.
And practicing and like studying for like about a year. It's last summer.
So did you do like exotic dancing prior to that?
Yeah, so I was a exotic dancer for 10 years.
Okay.
And as much as like, I'm good at it, like I am, but it doesn't like feed me.
Right.
Like not the way that like burlesque does.
In terms of like your personal journey type?
And like creativity and all
right.
of that. Cause like nobody cares what I'm doing on stage when I'm at the club, you know what I mean? And I have so much more to like offer than that. So I'm happy that like I found burlesque.
So the burlesque, it's a difference in the crowd or everything?
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of the differences between stripping and burlesque?
Sure. So for starters, there's no pole.
Right.
Everything is choreographed on your own. So you have 100% creative freedom. We make our own costumes. We pick our own music. It's really up to you where you get gigs. So you're basically your own manager and marketer.
Right.
There is just way more to it than the stripping has. Mind you can do all of that with the stripping too. Like I know like there's like pole dancing competitions now and things like of that nature. But as far as like in the club, like ain't nobody wearing like no, corset, rhinestone, like big hair. Like nobody's doing all of that, and people don't go to those places to see that.
So and what's the difference in like the audience?
The audience, no touching. Which for me, I think at this point in my life, I'm like done it already. Like I'm kind of like over it. I want to just do something that I feel a little bit more respected.
Right.
And burlesque gives me that because people are paying a ticket to go get entertained by something.
Right.
So versus like the club where it's like, where are we going tonight? Any club, we'll just find the baddest bitch in there and go that way.
Right.
So it's just a lot different, and you get so much variety with burlesque.
The
So
audience is just diverse.
yeah, it's just diverse, and then you get people who don't go to strip clubs who are seeing like a woman's body for the first time in
Wow.
a way more classier way.
Right.
Couples going on dates, like trying to do something a little more like risque, and just like being able to like entertain people even if it's just for a few minutes and make them all nervous and give women gay panic, like all of that. Like I live for that. Like I love that. Like that's why I love burlesque.
Right. That's dope. I'm glad you found something that
Thank
suits you.
you.
You know.
Thank you.
So the way we do this is I take 3 cents from my collection. Um, I break them down, the notes. I've always described scents to my liking, but scents are so subjective. So I want to get your opinion on it. And just going through your profile, I picked scents that I think will suit you. As you see, they're all dark bottles. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So
I'm excited.
so yeah, we're gonna go through these. And when I have women here, the way that I rank them is this scent good enough for the digits? Is it good
Oh.
enough for the date? Or is it good enough for the drawers?
Okay,
All
digit,
right?
date, or draws.
Digits,
Got
date,
it.
or drawers. So we're gonna smell them. I'm gonna ask you some questions, get your opinion, and then we'll get a final verdict.
Okay.
Digits, date, or drawers. Or if you feel that like you like them that much or you don't like it that much, then you could give the opinion right away.
Okay.
Before we get into this though, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friend whose house smells funny, because chances are, if the crib stinks, they do too. All right, you ready? You're not nervous, are you?
Oh, I'm terrified.
Terrified?
I hope they smell good. I have a really sensitive nose.
Okay, so this is Philippe Plein's No Limit. It's got the little skull on it. This is a cinnamon, ginger, dark chocolate, bourbon, vanilla, leather, and cedar. It's a very bold leather.
I literally could smell all of that.
You can smell all of that right now?
Yeah, like, literally, as you were saying it, I was like, smell that, smell that, smell that.
So there's actually a bunch of other notes in it that I don't think you would have been able to smell them. So I specifically picked out those ones because those are the ones that stand out to me as well. Now this is one that this is kind of it could be kind of offensive to some people. You got to have the right personality for this.
Definitely.
It's like a credit card with no limit. So I hope somebody with one of these kind of cards comes in and tips you.
I kind of love that.
Right. So do you like it?
I do actually.
Okay.
This one's really good.
Okay, so we'll revisit that. You can sit that over there.
Keep hitting me.
So you were an exotic dancer that transitioned to burlesque. You have an OnlyFans.
I do. That's new. That's like a double double.
So, being that you're like a sex worker, do you find it hard like finding somebody that'll take you seriously?
Definitely.
Really?
Yes. I actually talk about that pretty often because I mean it's not that like there's not sex workers out here who are having like successful relationships and marriages. Like I know a lot of sex workers that are married, but my personal journey has been fucking difficult. Like it's hard to get people to just trust you as who you are. Especially if their initial like meeting of you is that, oh, she's a sex worker. There's still so much stigma around like what a sex worker is and what we do when it's just such a big umbrella and it's bigger than people think, and not all of us are doing what everyone thinks that we're really doing. It's I'm actually pretty like boring when it comes down to it. Like I like to stay home cuddled up in my bed and watch movies. Like I'm like, it's just that the way I choose to like make money and make a living just suits me. Like I know that I've worked hard at like taking care of my body and like creating this like aesthetic for myself that I'm proud of, and I'm confident in like exposing that to like the world. And I used to be very insecure, and I went through a lot of mental health issues, and being able to be on a stage where people are like praising me for being so vulnerable. It's the most vulnerable thing you can do, is exposing yourself in that way. And it means something to me. May not mean something to every sex worker, but to me, it's deeper than that. So, not being taken seriously just because you're a pretty girl who shows your body is kind of like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm way more than that. It's deeper than that, way deeper than that.
Yeah, I don't really look at you as just a sex worker. I mean, you're just somebody who created your own path, like a
Yeah.
dreamer. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, I know for me, doing the things that I do, like people tend to not realize that, okay, this is my personality over here. And in a relationship, you're getting the real me,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, that I say the same thing too. Like when you're creative, like by nature, you kind of learn really quickly how to separate the two.
Right.
Some people not so much. Like I
Yeah,
know
it took me a while.
I
Yeah.
had I had a crisis too, like a identity crisis too, like going into this and taking it that seriously, and like the amount of networking and socializing you go
Right.
through, and you start to kind of like lose yourself and drift and forget how to socialize.
Right.
But once you learn how to like separate what you keep for your personal and
Right.
work, it just becomes easier, and then you're able to like explain it better.
Right.
So
Like I even had an issue with like my last girlfriend, and it was just like, it's certain things that we do together that I don't want to share on social
yeah,
media
exactly.
because that's for us.
Yeah.
Like that's so much of
You
me
yeah.
that's out
Hmm.
there. I'd just rather keep this little bit to myself.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, like my I had to end a relationship prior to pursuing this like head on,
right,
because like as I started like getting more recognition for the burlesque and getting more attention, it got hard for
right,
them, and I had to make a decision because I'm like, this is something I love,
right.
and I don't really see myself giving it up, and being everything that I've been through, I
So
didn't.
this was a person that was like insecure.
I mean, it's hard. I don't want to say insecure because I have so much love for them. Like,
Right,
I don't think they're insecure. I think that I am just not what they needed.
right,
Like, I
right.
think that my personality and their personality just did not mesh. And I think they needed somebody more like in solitude
Yeah.
and not so
I tell
extroverted.
I just yeah, I listen, I'm blunt. I'd be like, yo, just go get you a regular person.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
always say if I'm too
that's
much, go find less. So,
right. That's the same thing that I say. So you can sing as well too. You got a
I
beautiful
thank
voice.
you. Yes,
So
I do a lot.
yeah, you do a lot. So
Yeah.
like you said, finding out how to socialize in these type of circles, like, do you ever run into dudes that's just like stone cold creeps? Like, hey, like I could do this for you, like do this.
I got that way more at the strip club
Okay.
than I do with like the burlesque now. I do get a lot of people that I think, you go to see somebody and you don't really know what you're going to see because burlesque is such a wide umbrella of subgenres.
Right.
So you've got like really weird, messy acts, and then you've got like, yeah, you've got like people who mix like sword swallowing with it. Like you got all types of stuff. Like
Right.
it's not just like the classical, like Marilyn Monroe era of burlesque. Like there's so many subgenres.
Right.
So people come in, they don't know what they're going to get. So I feel like for me, the reactions that I get from people is they're scared of me.
They're scared of you?
They get intimidated by me, and then
I can see that.
when I open my mouth and they see how I speak and
Right.
my intellect, they're like, "Oh, like it's like a shock." It's like, people definitely judge me before they get to know me, which is
Right.
fine because I don't mind shocking people and proving people wrong. So,
Right.
yeah.
So you up close and personal, whether
Yes.
it's burlesque or whether it's
Yeah.
dancing. Have you ever ran into a guy that he smelled like good or bad? What is it the other way? Is it
Sh
more good or bad?
More bad in the yeah, way more bad.
Way more. It's way more guys smelling bad in the strip club than
Yes.
good.
If we're talking about the strip club, hell yes.
All right. So what's the worst a guy has ever smelled like?
Oof. I'm talking spoiled milk. Like he didn't get in his crevices like smell.
So did you tell him like yo, put your money away, go get a bar soap?
I
Like
wish
how
I
did you
wish I
handle
could
it?
in those circumstances.
Wait, so when you in a strip club, there's so many different personalities, and there are girls that would say that, like, yo, you stink.
It's circumstantial for me because if the dude is nice and he's paying and he's tipping the girls, he's being like, a good customer,
Right.
I will hold my breath. But
You'll hold your breath.
I will hold my breath. And I know a lot of girls who would agree with me too. Sometimes you just gotta hold that breath and just hope that it'll be over soon.
Oh my God,
But then,
fellas, do better.
yeah, and I'm talking like, and it's always the dudes I want to talk the most that got the smelly breath too. Oof,
So
it's
the ones that
awful.
talk the most breath stink.
Like
That's
just so
terrible.
bad. But if they're not tipping, I'm saying something. So I'm like, you did not just come in here. You're not even tipping, and you smell like doo doo. Like that's not okay. Like, you gotta pick a struggle. Like,
Right. So you running into dudes that smell good,
Mhm.
or girls? Because I'm not sure. Like, are you gender fluid? Like,
I am. I'm
you are?
queer.
You queer?
I
Okay.
am. I'm queer and poly.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got a whiff of some not so hygiene.
Girls as well.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's crazy. Cause I use so girls, y'all tend to take care of your hygiene better early on in life. Cause
Yes.
y'all are like,
Mhm.
y'all don't take care of this, y'all could die. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well
So
that's yeah, I don't know. So I think some girls just maybe missed the mark or never really just learned how to properly, like, it's not a matter of like being dirty. It's a matter of
right,
like their habits, their hygiene habits aren't necessarily the healthiest. Like they
right,
think it is, but it's not.
right.
Like girls will use like sprays like in there, and that like messes up your whole pH balance and all of that.
Victoria's Secret body spray in
Like
the
I'm talking like
coochie?
powdered sprays,
Okay,
like coochie sprays. Like that's not supposed to actually go like on it in it. Like
okay.
a lot of girls don't know that.
So where does it
So
go? Just right
yeah,
there?
right on top. It's like a layer. It's like a coating.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of women don't know that, and that like causes like yeast infections and things like that. So you sometimes I've gotten a few glances of what the bottoms was looking like, and I've gotten a few whiffs of what girls was looking like. So smelling like, I mean, but yeah.
Mm,
You get all types of scents and visuals in the club for sure.
right. So have you ever dated someone that came in like that you've met in the club
In
as
the
a client?
beginning, when I was younger and more naive, like I've tried, I would
Right.
say. Like I've never like gotten like long-term consumed in somebody that I met in the club because it never works. It doesn't even go past like a week or two.
Oh, what really?
Everyone, so I say this all the time. This is kind of like my like mantra when it comes to dating is like that I have to like constantly remind myself because I'm a sex worker. And I always say like they love the idea of me, but
Right.
being with me it's just different.
I think it just takes a certain type of
It
personality. So
does.
for me, when did you start dancing?
I started stripping when I was 17.
So around what time was that?
2000 and like 14, I think.
All right. So that's kind of around
Cuz.
the time when like the strip club culture changed because
Mhm.
before before social media,
Mhm.
before it was like where's the dollars at and all of that. Um, you could just go into a strip club and just
Mhm.
talk to a girl.
Yes, this is
What's your
true.
name? My name is Cinnamon. No, no, no. What's your
Mhm.
real name?
Yeah.
Let me take you out. I've dated several strippers, and it was a surprise to some guys, and they would be like, "Yo, how do you doing?" It's just like, "Yo, they're regular people." It's just,
Yeah.
that's a whole alter ego that they have.
It is. Not everybody understands that. You get a lot of guys who like fall in love in the club and they forget that like it is a persona, but like and that's also why like it's hard to like even date guys from like the club or women
Oh, girls,
either
right,
because it's like I don't know what their perception of me is, and if like seeing me outside of the club it's going to change.
right,
And if you're not prepared for the change and actually getting to know
right,
me,
right,
then you're going to think that I'm always this like stripper out here living my best life
right,
partying. I got all the girls around. Like guys really
right,
get consumed in that thought.
right.
Like
Well,
and
I think
yeah.
that it's
So
beautiful that you're able to separate the two because there are the girls who, when you get out, like they carry that with them
I
in
went
the
through
in
that.
the real world.
Yeah.
You did,
I was able to like really like learn COVID, like I think for a lot of people like shifted things,
right?
and it definitely shifted the culture, and it definitely
Yeah,
shifted my mindset towards sex work.
right.
So like before that, that is
For
who I
better,
was
for
for better.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it kind of made it worse because that was when everybody had money.
No, no, no. Worse in the sense of money. Yes.
Yeah,
Better for myself personally.
for
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
though.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
specify
No,
that.
no, no. Because everybody, it's just like fragrances. Everybody's journey is subjective.
Yeah.
So if it made it better for you, that's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
Because during COVID, when everybody had money and it was just like I just remember like,
Oh, I remember. I go back to photos of me with my stacks and my
right,
girls and all the money we had. Like, it's not the same. Let me just set the bar straight. I am a broke ass bitch. Okay, like the club has the money has like really dwindled, and that's why I decided to just say, "F it." I'm gonna take the L and switch careers and just try to like do something that means more to me. If I'm gonna be broke, I'd
right,
rather do it with something that I know I'm gonna gain something more in the long run.
right.
So that's why I shifted to burlesque. Well, one of the reasons, but
I can dig it. I'm broke too, man. I spend all my money on cologne. Trust me, I get it.
I spent all my money on food.
Okay.
Food and clothes.
You don't cook at home?
I don't have time.
So you
I don't have time.
DoorDash or everything?
I'm out like a lot. I'm outside
Right.
a lot. So everything is like, let's get lunch, let's get dinner. Let's like, that's just, yeah, I'm bougie, I guess. I guess
Okay.
in that sense, I'm bougie.
All right. Well, you want to date her, you better get your coins up. She's
Just
expensive.
for food. I mean, shit, if you cook,
Food is
that's fine
expensive,
too.
though. Yeah,
I
food
know.
is expensive. So we're going to get into the second scent.
Sounds good.
This is from my favorite niche house, Parfums de Marley. This is Herod. This is Creamy Tobacco. All of these scents are perfect for the fall. This has cinnamon, tobacco leaf, incense, vanilla, cedar, and musk.
I really like this one.
You really like that one.
Well, definitely more than the first one, but
More
I
than
like
the
the first
first
one too. So I
right.
don't know. We'll see. No, I really like this one. I'm just gonna hold this for a little bit while
Yeah,
you talk.
hold on to that. All right, yeah, that like I said, Parfums de Marley is my favorite fragrance house. Before I even damn, I forgot how good that smells. I'm getting.
I would wear this.
You would wear
like
it.
as a woman.
As a
Yeah,
woman.
this is nice. I feel like this is unisex.
Yeah, it is. Well, a lot of scents nowadays, along with everything else, is gender neutral. You
Yeah,
know,
this
so
is true.
So yeah, so that was a scent that
That one's definitely non-binary.
I got my hands on a few years ago before, because this scent like that costs you like $200-300, and it's like I used to be like, man, what? Why would I pay that much? And it's just really separates you from the pack when it comes to wearing something like that.
Yes, yeah. Perfumes are just too expensive. Like I use like regular. I use a lot of oils. Like
Okay.
I just go really natural with it, just because like it's so expensive to get
Right.
like a nice. Like I love like Gucci, I like Chanel,
Right.
but like they're expensive. Like I don't.
And you got to spend your money on food.
Yes, food is way more important.
Food is way more important, right? Yeah, this girl I know, she just broke her phone and she's like, yo, they want $200. I'm like, yo, it's like food. You can't complain about the price. You gotta have it.
No, yeah, my phone is super important to me too, because I use it for
That's everything. That's your money.
Yeah.
So you can't complain about it.
Yeah.
So in an era where so many women are going to get their body sculpted, you being that you use your body to make money, what makes you stay natural? Because you have a beautiful body.
Thank you. I did struggle with my weight a lot.
You was bigger?
I was.
You know the brothers like the big joints too.
No, it wasn't healthy big. I was depressed.
Okay.
So it wasn't a good look. It didn't feel good. Like, you know, when you get big, you can feel it like in your bones.
Yeah.
And I've always been a dancer since very little. So I've always had like a dancer's body. And then
curvy.
Yeah, like toned curvy.
Right.
And then, you know, when life happened and I went down this like dark hole, I gained so much weight, and it took me a while. Like where my body's at now, it took me a while. I just started doing like intermediate fasting and changing my diet, and I cut soda out completely. So I don't drink any soda. Cutting the soda out, I dropped like 25 pounds.
Yeah.
Like first like 3 months.
Soda, juice, all of that shit. Yeah.
I just water and coffee in the morning, my wine obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I've always struggled with my weight. It's always been tough. So thank you. I actually really appreciate that, and with the burlesque now too, like I'm wearing corsets all the time.
Right.
So that also like kind of adds like a little like extra like oomph in the sides, because
Yeah.
it does do that over time. Like a lot of burlesque dancers have like a little bit of an indent. So
from the corset?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So over time, but
that's a good thing though.
No, it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean they come off, so it's not like you're like wearing them like 8 hours a day. So
right.
But yeah.
So that's just dope, because you see a lot of girls that are going to do it like just because of the press it has on social media, and it's like sometimes it's like y'all are all looking the same, and some look better than others. So to see a woman that's confident in her physique and she's just sticking
I go back and forth with work though. Like sometimes I'm like, I could do a little shine. Like sometimes I think about it, because it's like it's available to us. Like if there's something about you that you think you want to change, like I'm all for that. Like I mean, I'm heavily tatted. Like a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
And some people think it's bizarre, same as like getting your body done. So for me, it's like, who am I to like judge? They're both body modifications in a way. But sometimes my brain, I was like, maybe when I'm like, maybe when things start to sag, maybe I'll want to like lift them back up, you know,
Right.
like get like a mommy makeover or something.
Right.
But other than that, like, I don't know. I understand where you're coming from because sometimes I see some really botched jobs and I'm just like, damn, like if you're gonna do it, like go hard, do it right.
Yeah, do it right. Yeah, because I mean, you're going under that knife. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to. It's the recovery.
yeah.
That's the crazy part. So
Hmm.
it's like if you gotta go through that recovery. What I've seen though is like the personality change for the worse after the surgery.
I've seen that as well. I've seen that a lot. I've lost a lot of friends to plastic surgery, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, like there are girls that like we were cool as hell. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my boobs done. I'm like, hey girl, good for you. Like I'm all for that. Get their boobs done. They're getting more attention. They're getting more jobs at other clubs, bigger clubs, making more
Right.
money, and that's it. I never
Yeah.
hear from them again.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird because I'm like all like woman empowerment. Like I love like supporting women. I love being nice to women that are mean to me. Like that's how I am.
Right.
Like
Killing with kindness.
I'm like, I don't, I was like, I will always support a woman. She don't gotta like me, she don't gotta fuck with me, but I'll always support women first. Like
Right.
that is just like who I am.
Right.
So when that happens, I'm like, ouch,
Right.
another one bites the dust. Like
Right.
it hurts my little heart.
Well, protect your energy at all costs, man.
Yeah, just
So
move on,
you
you
just
know?
move on. Right. So you've been doing OnlyFans for how long?
Not long at all. I had it like COVID,
Right.
obviously, like everyone else. And then I had that with my ex. So we ended up closing it. It got weird. Um,
And what terms?
I obtained a stalker
Okay.
and it put a wedge in our relationship and it got really concerning. It's everything's okay now,
Right.
but they're still stalking
Yikes.
actively. Yeah,
The same stalker?
it's cyber stalking. Yeah, so I don't know who it is.
Wow.
But this person has a lot of fucking time on their hands. That's all I'm gonna say. Also another risk you take doing sex work. So I've already just kind of like threw my hands up at this point.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna live my
So
life.
are you scaling back on it because of that?
No, not scaling, not because of that. I know that I definitely like need to be careful. I think
Yeah.
every sex worker needs to be careful.
Right. Women, period.
Yeah, exactly. Women,
You know, like
period.
I have a daughter, and I just certain
Yeah,
things that she says and does, and I'll be like, "Yo,
like take it easy.
take it easy." Yeah, like she's arguing with this boy, and I'm like,
You never know.
"Relax,"
Mhm.
you know, because you never know what a guy's gonna do. So you, how do you handle that though?
I just tried to work through it. At first, I was very scared, and I actually did like shut down and like close myself off because I was like I felt unsafe.
Right.
But it's it's been so much time now that has passed, and I'm like my life can't be on hold forever.
Mhm.
And like, you know what? If something's gonna happen, like it's gonna happen. But I don't honestly. I'm always surrounded by people, and I feel super confident in like myself and my strength. Like I've
Right.
been through a lot.
Right.
So, I grew up in old Brooklyn. So
Right.
like I've been through stuff. So it's not a matter of fear. It's just a matter of like what's worth like that. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
would say that like me switching gears and doing like more artsy like form of sex work makes it worth
Makes it
it.
safer.
Yeah.
Safer
Makes
as
it
well.
safer and worth it. Like it's
Well,
like fine. You can bother me on my phone all you want.
right.
I'm just gonna keep going on with my life. That's fine.
Real life, like
Yeah.
outside,
Hmm.
touching grass.
Yeah.
So you said you and your partner did y'all engage in acts on your OnlyFans?
We did.
Because there's some girls just they be on OnlyFans with a see-through romper on,
Yeah.
just not doing nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So
Now I'm doing more like creative nudes, like creative like photography, because like that's definitely more up my alley. Like I like to transform. I like costumes. I like little cute set designs, and then it's like mixing that with the nudity, like doing
right,
like fantasy looks, like or even just like cosplay, like things like that. Like I actually really enjoy that because I love doing like makeup on
right.
myself and clothes. Like I love clothes. So
Did you went to Comic Con?
I actually have not been to Comic Con yet.
Never?
I've never been. I just
Wow.
never. Every time Comic Con comes around, I'm busy. Like I just
Right.
haven't been able to like go. It's on the list
Yeah,
though.
it
I
sounds
know I'm
that's your
slacking.
tribe, man.
It
You
is.
gotta get with them.
It is. And trust me, like every year comes, I'm like, I'm gonna go. And then it just never happens.
Right.
So
Yeah, you gotta get with your tribe. So your OnlyFans is different from what we're seeing at Burlesque and what we're seeing on your
that
Instagram.
one's definitely more X-rated.
More X-rated.
Yeah, but it's more
Getting
like fun.
pounded out. Like, what are you doing?
No, I
Nothing,
don't.
no
No
sex
porn.
acts, no porn.
No, I
Because
did.
porn is free nowadays, so in
Yes.
abundance.
Yes.
So You're
So
doing something that is worth the $14 a month.
thank you. That was the plan.
That's the plan,
That was the
right?
plan. I was like, I can lowball this OnlyFans and just do like creative things that actually also benefit me
Right.
because like I need the content and I love doing like photo shoots and I love creating like concepts and stuff. So doing like kinky, odd, like fantasy level type stuff like for the nerds.
Right, for the nerds.
For the nerds.
That's your tribe.
Yeah, for the nerds.
That's
Like
what's up.
I love my weirdos. Like
Right.
I have to like pertain to them. So I do like a lot of feet stuff. I started dabbling in audio porn a little bit, but I haven't really had any like requests for that yet. But we'll see. That's like something that's like a thing that's like coming back.
Yeah. Like
So
phone sex?
no, not phone sex, like recorded audios, like role play.
Oh, okay.
But it's
And
just
like,
one sided. So
oh,
it's just
okay.
me talking.
And so these guys, they ask for like personal messages?
Um, no, like let's say for an example, stepdaddy and stepdaughter, right? So
Right.
I would be vocalizing the audio and like what's happening and like playing like voice acting, but porn.
Right.
Voice porn.
Voice porn.
Yeah, voice porn. So I'm just, saying things like how you would hear in porn, but like everything else would be in your imagination. It's just me talking. Yeah.
So voice porn, singer, burlesque, OnlyFans.
I do a lot. I write.
You write. You play the harmonica?
No.
You don't play the harmonica? You know why I'm asking you this?
Yeah, you're laughing at my little memes like
because
last night.
Your meme said you text me at 2 a.m. asking what that mouth do. I'll say, come find out. Now it's 2 a.m. and you're sitting on the edge of my bed listening to me play the harmonica.
So honestly, that's just like if I had harmonica, that would be something I would do and it wouldn't be good.
Right.
But that's like my level of crackhead. Like that's it. Like that's literally just it. Like, yeah, I'm a comedian. Like
so that kind of leads to like people looking at you as a sex worker thinking you're this hypersexual individual.
No,
and
so
now
opposite.
The real version of you is just like somebody who will do something silly like that.
Yeah, I will be like the friend that like embarrasses you in public.
Right.
I'm loud, obnoxious. I'm very loving. I'm very caring. I'm very giving. I'm very family oriented.
Right.
My whole family knows what I do. Some are cool with it, some aren't, but they all know and they're all like they love me anyways, whether they're with it or not. Yeah, I'm just me. Like literally I'm just me. Like I'm hypersexual in my personal life, but you
Right.
gotta earn that. Like that is
Right.
so fucking earned.
Right.
Like people think sex workers have no boundaries and don't deserve consent.
Right.
And that is so far from the truth. Like I say no all the time.
Right.
No. No. they're like, I want to kiss you right now. No.
Right.
No. Like what makes you think because of what I do? Because you saw me naked? Like, no.
Right.
Because for me, like this is like whatever. Like everyone saw it. It's fine. It's cool. Like you like it. You don't. You think it's hot. Whatever. You think I'm a slut. You think I'm weird. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
But my heart, my soul, that place is so sacred. And actually letting somebody in all of that, that has to be like earned.
Right.
For sure.
Well, I'll be the first to say, as somebody who's dealt with all different types of women, the cool, little, weird, funny ones, y'all are the best. That hype, especially me, I'm 41. You want to have sex 3-4 times a day? It's not happening. Not with me. Not with a honey packet. Not with nothing. I got shit to do. You know what I mean?
That's me in a personal life.
In a personal
Yeah.
life.
If I'm in love, like that's one thing. But like if I'm not
4 or 5 times a day?
I could. I've done it.
Rounds? Or are you rounds or like 45-minute sessions?
Sessions.
45-minute sessions?
I can.
Continuous bang bang?
Continuous bang bang. I love that. That's how you word it. No, I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain this. Like the longest I think I've ever had sex continuously with like little breaks in between is like 5-6 hours straight. But like little breaks in between, like let's get water, let's like have a snack real quick and then go back to it. Like not even putting our clothes on or anything.
This was during the pandemic? Like you didn't have nowhere to go?
No, actually.
I haven't.
I just had like a day off and we were really into each other.
It's been a long time. I 2018 was the last time, and it was
It was a
actually.
while ago. Like I'm not bang banging like that anymore.
You
But
like James Addiction? You know who James Addiction is?
no.
Perry Farrell. You don't know who that is? So like that's like early. That's like MTV era. But
Oh, okay.
so
I didn't really watch MTV growing
they
up.
had this song called 3 Days, and it was actually about a a, a menage a trois that lasted 3 days,
Hmm.
and it's a good song of mine, one of my favorite songs. And one day I was just listening to that, and then I just let the whole album play, and that was the continuous bang bang. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago for me. It was before the pandemic that happened. And yeah, I just like I know I have the energy. I definitely have like the sexual stamina to when I really like somebody because
Right.
I consider myself a demisexual. I can have friend
Define demisexual. What is that?
a demisexual means that you can find sexual arousal through intellect over like physical attraction.
Okay.
So like for me it's like yeah, I need the initial attraction, but if you
Right.
open your mouth and say some stupid shit, I'm like there's a whole other hot person that I can talk to that will
Right.
actually like feed me in an intellectual way.
Intellectually.
And so like I've had like friends with benefits like and I'm usually like pretty cool with them.
Right.
Like, you know, like I try to at least solidify some form of friendship. And mind you, I get played a lot. Like it's, you know, people pull the wool over people's eyes all the time. Like it happens. But
So you're dealing with both men and women
and non-binary
and not
and
binary.
trans
Who plays the most?
plays as far as like
You said you get played a lot.
oh, like as far as like which genre of person
Because so here's my thing. Because when that's your orientation,
Mhm.
you get to say, "All right, I'm done with y'all. I'm going over here with this." You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
do that though.
You don't.
No, because I actually value like people. Like
Right.
I respect people. And for me it's like if I'm talking to you, if you're being honest with me and you're like, I'm not looking for anything serious, but I still find you cool and I find you attractive, like
Right.
cool. Like we can like play around. That's cool. But like to be like, oh, like I want to see where things go. You it's such a
That's
vague
a waste of time.
term.
Yeah.
And it's just like you want to see where things go, fine, but act accordingly.
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna get turned off. You can't for me, it's like I don't go backwards.
Right.
I go forwards.
So
So
who plays the most though? 'Cause
men.
men?
Hmm,
Damn.
I'm sorry, y'all are not doing good right now.
Damn.
You know this.
No, I don't. I don't. So there's this girl at my job. She's like, whatever the term is when you deal with anybody, you know. And she's like, she said the hardest thing for her was trans. She said because
I
she
haven't had too much experience dating trans people to really like speak on it.
okay.
Yeah.
So her thing was that like anything you say to them is like, oh, you're just saying that because I'm trans,
I can see that.
right?
I can see that. I think and you know it's crazy because like I can identify with that statement as well because I have a hard time trusting people because I'm a sex worker. So for me, I feel
Right.
fetishized all the time.
Right.
So it's like I can kind of relate to that, like feeling like, oh, you're just fetishizing me or I'm an idea to you.
Right.
I'm not like an actual like thing that you're trying to pursue.
Right.
So I can see how that can be like an issue. I personally have not dated enough trans people to really speak on it. I've been played by women too. Women can be way more deceiving.
That's this is what I'm saying. Like when it really comes down to men, like we're kind of stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're-
that's what bothers me with men.
right. So it's like, all right, so you could kind of catch a dude like, yeah, come on, you wasn't even slick about that. But women,
They're sneaky.
they're so fucking sneaky. So
Mhm.
I'll say this: maybe women have played more, but y'all are just so sneaky that you wasn't able to catch them.
Probably. I mean, the thing is, like, I've been in like monogamous relationships with women and men.
Right.
And I would say with men, I don't always, it's really, excuse me, it's really hard for me to get emotionally attached to a man because I feel like they don't always prioritize the woman's emotions. Like, and I feel that like
Right.
usually when I'm with men, like in the beginning, it's always the compliments and the things that they think you want to hear.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, couple weeks down the line, their true colors start to come out, and it's like, it's either like they think they're like the king of the jungle, and like they need to act like this like primal animal, or like they're, you know what I mean, or they're just like not emotionally available.
What's the oldest man that you've dealt with?
I've dated 50-year-olds.
And you still saw that in a mature man as well?
Yeah, I've honestly met probably more mature younger men than older, because it was just a different time. They just think differently, and it's a little bit more misogynistic, I think.
Hmm.
But and then with women, dating women monogamously, it can be very like emotionally overstimulating
Yeah, I can see that.
with two women, and
Yes.
I found myself arguing more, like getting into more like intense fights.
So, and this is what the same girl told me. She said when dealing with women, she said there's nobody that's gonna stop.
No,
She was like, it's just
it's on and
it's
on and
on
on.
and on and
You have
on.
to
Yeah,
really
yeah,
work on your communication with a woman.
yeah.
And it's not that it's impossible. Like, it's possible because I've seen it. But you gotta be in the right headspace, and you
Right,
gotta be able to be like, okay, I like this person. I'm gonna work towards this. However,
right.
whatever I need to do. Because that's what people are losing in relationships. I'm poly. Even if it's a triad relationship, I'm still going to, if we have to do fucking therapy, we're going to do therapy. If we
Right.
need to like, but it has to be within the time that things are like starting. That stuff needs to be solidified
Yeah,
and and be a foundation, not 4 years later and you
yeah.
guys are still having arguments and now you want to decide maybe we need therapy.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a way to go about it that not a lot of people are good at because it wasn't really like taught to us.
Right.
We were taught one man, one man, one woman for the rest of your life, and you got to make it work once you're
Yeah.
married. Like kids, house, job.
Yeah.
Like things are just so different now.
Yeah. Very,
So
very,
you
very.
have to work harder to maintain those relationships, and
Right.
people miss that mark all the
And
time.
it's so many distractions nowadays.
Yeah, you have the world available
Yeah,
to you.
everybody's
You have any
available, right?
person you want to sleep with on
Yeah,
your phone.
yeah,
So it's like people, it's like, oh, this person said something that I didn't like, or this person
This person said something I didn't like.
like
I got somebody in my comments that's
it's
saying something I
so,
want to hear.
for me it's like if I see potential in you and we're gonna go somewhere, like I'm deleting the apps and I'm gonna focus on you, like
Right.
whether it's you or them or couple or whoever it is, like that's what I'm gonna do because that's, I feel like that's what's right. Like
Right.
it's a moral thing more than anything. It's not about how to date.
Yeah.
There's so many ways you can date. Love is love, but I think respect is so necessary.
Yeah.
You don't just discard people like that.
Yeah.
It's so wrong.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Oh, that's noble and responsible of you
Thank
because I
you.
see
And
like
it took time. I used to be a
right.
piece of shit. Like
No, because that's what I'm saying. Like dealing with bisexual women, they'll be like, "Oh, niggas ain't shit. You over here fucking with a
no,
chick
it's
now."
not an option for me. I have so much love to give, so it's like I take it seriously.
Right.
Like why do I don't know, like it's crazy. Everybody's in this like self-righteous place. Like we have all of this like self-care and all these like different cultures that like our generation's taking on, which is beautiful.
Right.
But now everybody's like, I'm too good for everybody.
Yeah.
And now it's like, where are the actual like connections that people are out here trying to make? Like
Right.
it's like people are just like fantasizing about this like perfect love, but nobody wants to actually like do the work on themselves or do the work with the person.
Right.
There's no reassurance. Like people are just so easy to just like on with the next.
Disposable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you smoke hookah?
I do smoke hookah.
Are you Spanish?
I
Are you
am.
Spanish?
I'm Afro Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I was out smoking hookah with this Dominican girl one night, and I almost busted her lung. I'm like, yo, you don't want no food, you don't want no drinks. She, no, just more hookah, more hookah, more
Yeah,
hookah.
I get like that too.
Jesus Christ, yo, I almost died in there. I was like, yo, she was so bad too. Nice body, like brown, dark brown skin. You know how the Dominicans be?
Mhm.
I was like, I'm never going out with you again. You smoke too much hookah. This next fragrance, though, is Kilian's Smoking Hot. And it's smoking hot for a reason.
Okay.
Now, the House of
Right.
Kilian
Let me see this.
is Hennessy's grandson who makes this. And it actually has apple hookah in it. And it's got cinnamon, bourbon, vanilla.
Damn.
They actually, on Fridays, when you go to the Kilian boutique, they have a happy hour, and they fashion a cocktail that's made to taste the way that this smells.
See, I would wear this too.
Well, Kilian is also very gender neutral.
I like this.
You like that one?
I don't know which one I like more now.
Well,
They're all good.
we'll get a final verdict when it's all said and done. Just
Yeah,
got a few
this
more
one's good
questions,
though. Yeah.
and then we'll get to that. You're inked up. How many tattoos you got?
Oof, I lost count. I don't know. I'm like definitely like late 20s, I would say, because I have like bigger pieces.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, what was like the most painful? You got the back of your leg tattoo? That was the worst for me. Oh
Honestly,
my
my
god.
thigh sucked.
Your
My
thighs?
thigh, yeah, I didn't like my thigh.
Up here?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I felt it like in my vagina.
I figure because it's so meaty.
No, that's why it hurt so much. There was like no like literally it's like all just like woo woo. So like I just felt like everything. Like I don't know. I
Oh
was
man.
bigger too then, so it just felt I didn't love it.
Your face? How did that feel?
Fine. My face was the easiest. Like I
Oh,
can get a few more on my face and my head, yeah.
oh, you're actually one of the girls who like that. You pulling that off the right
Thank
way.
you.
Like
Thank you.
that's not easy to do. Like
Thank you.
some girls, it's like, damn, why'd you do that? But it looks good on you.
I I I teeter between like getting way more
Right,
and then also just like dialing it back. It's hard because it's like, well, first of all, I know so many tattoo artists. It's
right.
like it's too
It's
easy,
too easy, right?
but I also have to be like, I want it to all kind of like correlate and like I still have like unfinished ones and
Well,
all of
well,
that.
I will say, take your time because like in my younger years, a lot of the shit that I got, I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking?
I have a couple of those, but I mean, honestly, like I like them. It's like
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this though: the older you get, the more they hurt.
no, I know. I'm already experiencing that. I'm
Yeah,
only
like
27. I mean, I started getting tattoos when I was 16.
right.
So, like now, like I got this stupid little thing here, and I'm like screaming at my tattoo
Yeah,
artist.
like what the
I'm
fuck?
like, his. Let's say his name was Mike. I'm not gonna say his actual name, but I was like, Mike,
Right.
Mike, like yelling at him, and he's like, what? And he's like, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to do my job.
Nah, I'm talking about like my body and almost like in shock
Agony.
days after, and I'm like, yo, these shits didn't hurt this bad when I was
Yeah,
younger.
but I still do it. It's more so like I just suffer in silence. Like like I don't know, like it's weird. Like I'll make noises and I'll get upset, but like I still do it to myself. So
The tattoo on your ass. What does that say?
oh god. You know what? I've had this weird feeling that you was gonna ask me that. Everybody asks me that. It says good kitty. And it's not what you think. It's just ironic placement.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's rather ironic because the kitty
So
is
that
a
used
different
to
location.
that's like that
So that's
was
your
who I
nickname?
used to be. That was when I was like full-time stripper hoe. My stripper name was Kitty. And like my whole thing was like kitten play, BDSM, things like that. So I did like
Full-time stripper hoe?
full-time stripper hoe.
What?
Like my whole like persona was based around like remember when we were talking about like some people get consumed
Yeah, not
like
separating the
yeah
two.
that I
Right.
call that my stripper hoe phase because I
Okay.
was like consumed like drugs partying getting taken out by rich
Different.
guys
Right,
and
right,
things that like honestly don't even like feed me
right.
like now like yeah I like to get spoiled but I want to get spoiled by somebody that I care about over
Okay.
like a stranger but
So you gonna stick with that or you doing a cover up?
no I'm keeping it it's too
Keeping
big
it. Yeah.
it's too big and you
Yeah,
know
you'd
what
have to cover your whole ass.
yeah it's too big and honestly like I like it like
Right.
it's not who I am anymore, but like it's who it is still kind of like there's still like parts of me from that era of who I was that I took with me.
Right.
Like, like the fetish community and all of that, for example, like that was a huge part of my life like in those years. So that was like another reason why I got like the good kitty cuz in BDSM culture, there's something called like pet play and kitten play.
Okay.
So
And what is that?
it's basically like the dom is the owner and the sub is the puppy or the kitten and it can go as intense or it could be super like surface level. It's like it could go from like you're just like meowing during sex or it can get as extreme as like you're getting put in a cage, you're wearing like a tail for like a butt plug, like it can get extreme. Like it can yeah. I've lived many lives. And people who have like known me for that for so long like know like I used to do like the fetish porn and I
Right.
was very big in like the BDSM community And I also took a step back from that too, because it also affected my personal life because I like doing that in my personal life. I want to keep things separate, like we were talking about.
So I also need to know what this says.
It's a Maya Angelou quote, actually.
Okay.
Yes, and it says, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the change it has gone through to achieve that beauty."
Whew. I like that.
Thank
I
you.
like that better than a good kitty.
Me too.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Me too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to show them the ass tattoo.
Oh, I'm glad you did it.
but that is way well. You got the stockings on too, so I wouldn't make you do that. But that is way more profound than you showing your ass on camera. So I can truly appreciate that.
Thank you. I've been spending the last couple of years just like doing a lot of work and like revamping like myself and just growing.
Right.
I've just been like evolving and growing and not getting rid of those things that made me who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? But also like just trying to be like a better version of that.
That's beautiful. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Now I see that you're very like open with your ups and your downs.
Yes.
And that's also something that made me want to talk to you because I'm somebody who got diagnosed with depression at 17. You have people that don't understand the psychology of somebody who's dealing with something like that. And they'll say, "I'll just cheer up." And it's like,
that's such a trigger.
Yeah, like
I'm like,
yeah, it's that easy, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Let me just snap my fingers.
you think it's that easy? So just dealing with the ups and downs of, like I said, I'm 41 now. So from 17 till now, I've just had,
It's hard.
yeah, and you have those bouts.
It's forever.
It's forever, at some point I'm gonna lose my parents.
Yeah.
Because that's the cycle of life.
Yeah.
And the event that happens, I could see myself dealing with a bout. But I saw you say your brain could be a dangerous place, but the beauty is you will always get yourself out of that dark place.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the ways that you've gotten yourself out of that dark place?
My support system, first and foremost, like I'm very lucky. Like my father has always fought tooth and nail for me and my mental health.
Right.
I have had mental health issues since the age of like 8.
Right.
And I've been in therapy since about that age. I am not currently actively doing therapy because I'm doing more like holistic takes on it.
Right.
I do have a psychiatrist though. I am on medication. I do take care of my mental health,
Right.
just not in a traditional sense because I feel like the therapy it's not for me anymore.
Right.
I find more benefits in like more spiritual like rituals and things like that. Yeah, like I found faith again. Like I found like, a higher power for myself, which has also helped me a lot. Getting out of dark places, diving into my creativity, my artistry has definitely helped me. Those things are just so necessary. Just talking. You don't have to spend $200 for a therapist, but have a solid support system that you can call them and tell them what the fuck is going on. Like, be honest with yourself. Like, that is what it really boils down to. Because if you could really sit with those emotions, you can get yourself out of them.
Yeah.
Like, it takes practice. Like, easier said than done.
Yeah.
I have dissociative disorder. So
what exactly is that?
it means that so I have I have a couple things, but I have CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And basically it means that I have all sorts of trauma that I've dealt with, from small to big.
Right.
I've experienced almost every form of trauma, like including almost dying.
Right.
So several times. So for me, when I get in my head, I am not here. We could be having a conversation and I am looking past you. You're a blur. All I see are shapes and all I hear is like muffled.
Right.
And it can get so bad that you will not know where I am. And I can't speak. I don't have emotion. The last time I had a really bad episode, I was in bed for a week, no shower, no food. No one knew where I was because I was so silent and stoic in my bed that nobody knew I was even there. And when I was found, there were tears and I felt nothing.
Right.
Like it's very morbid, and it's a
Right.
very like dark place to be. That's why, like I said, my brain is such a dark place. Like I
Yeah.
know where it can go.
Yeah.
So I do, every day is a constant battle against my mind and not letting my mind take over my body because I have shit to do. Like,
Right.
and it sucks because like I wish that I can have like, it's like I have support, but everyone's going through something.
Right.
Like, ain't like for me, it's like it's really up to me, like if I get myself out of bed today or
Right.
not. Like,
Right.
and there are days that I don't make it out of bed.
Right.
So, you know, those are like my personal struggles that I don't always like. I'm open enough if someone asks me,
Right.
but it's still hard
It's
to like
hard. Yeah,
talk
it's
about
hard.
because it's like,
Because not everybody's gonna understand it.
yeah,
So,
and not everybody thinks that of me. They don't
right.
see that side of
Right.
me, you know.
So for me, one of the last episodes I had with depression,
Mhm,
same thing. I'm in the bed, no shower,
mhm,
not brushing my teeth for a week, to the point there were flies
mm,
swarming around me.
yeah.
The way that I wrung myself out of that, I got up, I took a shower, and I put on what at the time was my favorite cologne. It was Versace Eros. And that's how I got into cologne.
That's amazing. I
That is
love that.
that is literally
I
how
love
I
that.
got into cologne. And I never told that story because
Aw,
like, you know,
it was so special.
I have, yeah, you know, I have other ways that I could say I got into it because there are different parts of that
Yeah,
story that
there's
are true.
layers.
There's
Yeah.
layers to it. But it's like you said, people just don't understand it.
Mhm.
They don't get it. And
Yeah.
I knew at some point I would have to tell that part of my story
Mhm.
and that it could help somebody, you know, in me telling it.
Yep.
But literally the same thing. I got up, I hadn't showered in days, and I put on, I'm talking about it was Christmas,
Wow.
and I was in the bed. I'm in a bed on Christmas,
Yeah.
and I mean, I gotta tell this part. My baby mom's called me and she was just talking shit. And I'm like, you are fucking miserable. You're like, you calling me on Christmas with this shit? Like,
Yeah.
come on. And I'm like, you know what? You gotta get up, bro. Like, you gotta get up. I showered, I put on cologne, and then I realized how much better I felt
Mhm.
putting on a cologne. I always tell people cologne is like a dream.
Mhm. I love smells.
Yeah, because it'll take you somewhere else.
Mhm. It'll make you feel like different.
It'll make you feel different. It'll make you
Mhm.
feel better. You know, you got some smells that'll make you feel worse. But for me, when I put on cologne that day, it made me feel so much better about myself. The pandemic was another time I was depressed.
I mean, yeah.
For good reason, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I made sure I did, I made sure I got up, showered, and put on cologne.
If you could at
every
least
day.
do that,
Yeah.
then you're doing all right.
Right.
Like I always say, if you could at least make your bed, you've done something for the
Right.
day. Like, you know, pick up a little, like whatever. You don't have to go hard and do a whole deep clean, but
Right.
just try to get yourself out of bed, walk around your house if you can't make it outside, like, you know, something.
Right.
But yeah, that's a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
with
you.
me. I totally resonate with that because yeah, I wasn't doing that great like during COVID either, and
Yeah.
even after COVID, my depression, my stuff lasted for a while. I wasn't doing good, and it was like a gradual thing.
Yeah.
So once I hit rock bottom to the point where I couldn't get myself out of bed at
I had
all.
I had two therapists during COVID.
Hey.
I had two therapists, and then and then ironically, neither one of them worked. But just the effort to take care of my mental health, I think it's something that everybody should do.
I agree.
Whether or not you deal with any mental diseases or depression or anything,
Mhm.
I think as an adult you should be nurturing your mental health the same way you nurture your physical health.
Mhm.
It's just so important to your well-being as a
Yeah.
whole. Like my therapist during COVID, like I asked her, I'm like, listen, I'm black.
Yeah, it's not
Right?
something that we're
Thi-
taught.
yeah, this is not something that I'm taught,
Mhm.
and also there's a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with
Mhm.
that because she was from somewhere. I forgot where she was from, but she had an accent. And I said, you have to let me know like if you're really gonna be able to take on what it is that I'm dealing with because this shit is deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she kind of couldn't,
Yeah.
and that's why I
That's the downfall of therapy. That's kind of why I decided to just take more holistic approaches because I've already been in institutions and
Right.
hospitalized and long term, short term, therapist after therapist, medicine after medicine.
Right.
And I feel like I've just learned more on my own than any therapist has really like given me, except for like a handful of them that
Yeah.
have actually like really worked hard to like help me.
Right.
But then it's like insurance, things change. Like
Yeah.
it's just the
Yeah.
most annoying
Yeah.
like cycle to the point where it's like if I'm gonna spend out of pocket money for therapy, I'd rather go do like a Reiki class or like do some like one-on-one life coaching or sound bath or
Right.
scream therapy or like literally anything else.
Right. But
But
as long I just think as long as the effort is there to finding out what works, which is just really what life is all about.
mhm,
You know, everything is trial and
there's no
error.
right or
There's
wrong.
no right or wrong to it, but
Mhm.
you're taking care of yourself. Man, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Can we get a final verdict on
Oh
these
God.
scents?
What were the options again?
So it's
Let me know.
digit.
Digit.
Does this guy, girl smell good enough to get the phone number? Does this guy, girl smell good enough to get the date? Because you know in New York City, it's kind of like, yo, what you doing right now?
See, now they smell a little different because
That's
they're
why
sitting there.
that's why you got to get the final verdict, because you get the opening note, the base,
This is hard.
the middle. Do you know which is which?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the drawers. Like, do you smell good enough where it's like
Okay.
you getting this, what is it, sweet kitty? What was it?
It's good.
Good kitty. You getting this good kitty.
That's not what it means.
It's not what it means, but just, you know, for continuity purposes.
That's hilarious. Okay, the last one, the third one.
Smoking hot.
That one I would say digits.
Kilian smoking hot.
Yeah, digits.
You can get the digits. She texts back good too.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
she's a good texter. So
I try. I'm not always good. Sometimes I go days without responding, like everyone else. Yeah, the last one I would say digits. The
Kilian smoking hot digits.
second one I would say
Parfums de Marley. Harriet. I don't know.
second one is draws.
Drawers?
Yeah.
Getting the drawers. I'm telling you. I keep telling y'all about this Parfums de Marley, man. Y'all better stop playing.
It's really good, and I would wear it. And then the first one would be
so
date.
she gonna give you the drawers, and then she gonna steal your cologne.
Yeah.
Protect your cologne and your hoodies at all costs this season,
And I'm gonna
fellas.
eat you out of food and home.
and she's expensive when it comes to food. Final verdict on the Philippe Pleins No Limits.
Date.
Date?
Yeah.
I thought this.
It was stuck.
This is a very polarizing scent.
I was stuck between the two because I would also maybe date and then draws for that one.
Date and then draws. So you gotta.
I think that would be my husband.
This is your husband?
That would be my husband. My husband would wear that, I think.
Okay.
But you didn't say marry, so I couldn't.
I thought that this aligned with your personality the most.
I agree. That's why I said I'm like, that would be a scent of somebody that I'm actually like with. I
Right.
But like just draws, like fuck boy would be the second one.
Fuck boy, second one.
Like, all right, just for the night, I guess.
Right. All right.
You smell good.
This was dark leather. So look, she literally has on dark leather.
Hey.
So Artina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I hope
fun.
I hope one of these days we could bring you back.
Yeah, that'd be great.
See where you're at on your journey.
I have so much coming, trying to
and
do
life, period. I actually went to a burlesque show the other night at the Soho House. It was a
Oh, I know. Okay.
I forgot what the name of it was. Very interesting though.
Yeah, you get all types of stuff.
Yeah,
it's a variety show.
Yeah, it was very
It's
interesting.
experimental performative art.
Yeah. There was even like a girl, she read a poem.
Yeah.
The poem was about like because I've had this problem. Okay, fellas, y'all think having threesomes is all fun and games, but there are a lot of boundaries that have to be set when you're doing that.
Yes.
So the poem was actually about a couple that had a threesome with a girl, and the third party wasn't respecting the boundaries.
That is, that's a whole other
That's
show.
a whole nother hour.
Yeah, that's a whole other hour.
Jesus Christ. I wish I knew you were poly. I would have put that into but yo, I've never really, I mean, in the moment I've had fun.
Yeah.
But the after effect of it, the emotional component.
I prefer dating two people at the same time.
You prefer dating two people at the same time. A couple.
I prefer couples. Couples, or if I'm like with somebody, like if it's a boy, we need to find a girl. If it's a girl, we gotta find a boy.
What are the boundaries? Because the boundaries have to
It's
be set.
different for everybody because some people, it really just depends. Like for me, if I'm entering like a couple situation,
So some people you could be casual with, and some people you could be serious with.
it's hard for couples for me at least. Like I could do like a casual threesome, but like I never feel amazing after it. Like I
Right.
never do as a third. Like I just don't. Like I rather like not have sex and get to know the couple and then
Right.
like have that happen organically.
Right.
But I would say that I would say that I thrive the best in those types of situations, like
Being a
romantically.
third party.
Third party or one of the primaries. I mean, it's fine. Like I've been in situations where like we all kind of met at the same time and it just kind of happened.
Right.
I've been in situations where the couple's been together for however many years and then I just entered. So there's different boundaries every time. Like it's difficult.
Right.
But I am such a complex person already and I have already been through so much and my brain has already been altered in all types of ways that like
Right.
I encourage like a challenge and I encourage like something different. Like I'm there's nothing traditional about me whatsoever. So, you know.
I think that's the beauty of you, and that's why I chose you as a
Thank
guest.
you.
And you were everything I expected and beyond. I
Yay.
cannot wait to learn some more about you and bring you back one of
Oh,
these
that'd be
days.
great. I'd
I
love that.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Remember, y'all, I don't do this for views. This is the news you could use. Keep your distance, mind your business, step your collection up.
Period.